Good morning, everyone. Good morning, and good morning to everyone in our online community that's joining us this beautiful Sunday morning. I would like to lead you in an opening prayer for today. Please join me. As we recognize that there is one infinite power, one divine presence, the presence of love itself, wise, creative, the source of all that is. The stars, galaxies, the plants, the animals, oceans, and humans, all moving in perfect harmony with the universe. We are that divine love. The very same love that holds the world together also holds us together. We are complete and just as perfect as the peace that flows through us from the one source, our Creator. We are a living expression of light and love. Let us open our hearts as we listen to what Reverend Madge will be sharing with us this morning, and also our special music person. So we will listen to that. So it is, amen. And now, just taking a little deviation, I would like to introduce our special guest, Dree, who has her own personal and beautiful song that she has written and composed. And this is in guitar or just a cappella?
You'll see.
Oh, it's going to be good. Well, welcome on up.
All right, let's do this.
Yes. Yay.
Testing. Aren't you smart?
We can make it work.
Okay, so hi, my name is Drianne Gotti, and lately I've been working using an AI program to help me put out some really good music. I enter in the instruments, the style, my voice, everything like that. So here's some of the lyrics and the songs that I've written that I've put into AI and generated some good music. I love writing inspirational music, and I hope you enjoy the song. It's called There Is a Light Inside of Me. And I don't care if something bad happens, what do? There's a light inside of you. Remember that. Shine your light. That's the message of the song, okay? I'm ready when you are. And stop. There we go. There it is. Shine your light. You guys ready? Get into this. Feel it. There is a light inside of me, small at first, wildly free. It flickers when I'm weak and warm, but still it wakes me up by dawn. Through the dark I feel it rise, a steady flame behind my eyes. I reach in and I hold on tight. That little spark can fight the night. There is a light inside me. Let it shine bright for all to see. Through the darkness of the night, look within you and shine your light. Shine your light. Right? Yep. That's what you gotta do. Do it. I used to fold when shadows came. I used to hide behind my name. Now where fear can't stay, let the dark just fall away. Through the dark I feel it rise a steady flame behind my eyes. I reach in and hold on tight. That little spark can fight the night. There is a light inside of me. Let it shine bright for all to see. Through the darkness of the night, look within you and shine your light. Shine your light. If you're breaking, if you're bruised, if the road feels cut in two, hold my hand and come on through, 'cause what burns in me lives in you. The light inside of me, let it shine bright for all to see. Through the darkness of the night, look within you and shine your light. Oh, night, look within you and shine your light. Oh, shine your light. Shine your light. That's it. Oh, that's awesome. Yes.
Wasn't that great? You're good. You're good, my friend. So the irony is, I love how these serendipitous things work. We didn't share about any of our topics. And this morning, well, okay, my topic title is Shadow and Light. Yeah. And she just messaged me this morning and sent me the clip and said, hey, I want to do this song sometime. And I said, so I listened to it. It's like, you got to be kidding me. That is amazing. So I said, yeah, let's do it today. And sent the file on over, and there we are. And then your prayer was perfect too. So Spirit talks to all of us. That much I know, because we don't plan these things. We're not good at planning those things. We just do them, and it always turns out. So anyway, so today I want to share with you about the topic shadow and light. And I want to share some of the thoughts and the experience that I had the other day while driving to Corvallis to have lunch with my friend. I was thinking about some of the things that are happening in the world and some of the really bad things that people are doing to each other. It's just very, very heavy in the heart. And the question I had was, if everything is God, and God is the fabric of the universe, and the fabric of the universe is love, then how do the terrible things that people are doing fit in? It's a conundrum to me. Another way to ask this is there judgment about the human experience in divine mind? So I took these questions and I really leaned into the idea of universal love, as if it always is and is everywhere all the time, and it always was. And I allowed myself to fall deeply into that state. I was careful while I was driving, but I allowed myself to fall deeply into that state in my heart. And just for a moment, I could feel it. I could feel that place that was beyond right and wrong. I could feel that place that was just the experience of love with no judgment, no attachment to anything. And it was really beautiful. And it felt pristine and it felt untouchable. And perhaps for that moment, maybe I touched the divine presence itself, or as close as I can register it within my vibrational frequency. And it was so vast that it could hold the entire human experience while holding, at the same time, the integrity and the fabric of universal unconditional love. And I couldn't hold that for very long. It's one of those frequencies I couldn't hold for very long. However, it really stuck with me. The idea of it and the feeling of it stuck with me. And I know it's there beyond the shadow of a doubt. I know it's there. And seeing from this higher place of consciousness doesn't mean that we have to be passive to suffering. We can and should intervene. We should protect. We should help. We should speak up and strive not to let hatred become our consciousness. Seeing through the eyes of God doesn't mean that everything humans do is okay. Maybe it means that underneath everything we do, even the worst choices that are made, there remains something that cannot be damaged, the divine presence itself. That experience of the God mind or divine presence, as brief as it was for me, was enough to give me something to strive for in my everyday living. And this leads me to think about this abundance of conversation that people are having in the world of metaphysics these days. And that is about shadow work. It seems to be popping up everywhere. Do your shadow work this, shadow work that. We hear so much about finding our shadows, healing our shadows, uncovering our wounds, discovering what is wrong underneath our reactions. And this is what we call our work. And it is what we're doing to become a better person or more spiritually enlightened or, a better being, better person. We're all doing all of those kinds of things. And this can be a tremendous value in doing this work. There is value in that. But what if we've become so preoccupied with our shadow that we forget why our shadow is visible in the first place? It is visible because there is light. We have shadows because we have light, divine light. Now, these are the thoughts I was having on my way to meet my friend Linda. And she is, I'm coming back to this, she is was very much a part of Home Spiritual Center a number of years ago. She now lives in Eugene, and she has many talents, and art is one of them, one of her many talents. She's an artist and she teaches art as well. And she taught a class here. It was called Drawing with Spirit. It was really cool. It was a very good class. And she doesn't just teach how to draw, she teaches the spirit of color, the spirit of shadow, and the various variations of light and how they affect the differences between shadow and light. And then she carries it deeper and translates that into spiritual principles. Well, we sat down, we had lunch, and as we were catching up with each other, she's telling me about this art class that she's teaching right now. And it's all about shadows and the different values of light and darkness and how we can't have light without shadow. Shadow defines the light. Now remember, Linda didn't know anything about what I'd been thinking about on my drive. And I hadn't told her any of this, of my thoughts that I was having. And she starts telling me about this class she's teaching about shadows and the different values of light and darkness. And I'm sitting there thinking, okay, Spirit, I'm listening. Isn't it funny how that serendipitous stuff, it just came out of my thoughts, that beautiful conversation. If everything were exactly the same value, no darkness, no contrast, no variations, we could barely perceive an image. Depth emerges because of the relationship between light and dark, between shadow and light. And here we spend an awful lot of time trying to get rid of shadows. But my friend reminded me of something. An artist doesn't eliminate the shadows. The artist learns to work with it. It is very important. It creates definition. shape, and form. And it helps us recognize the light. And that kind of twists my brain a little bit to think about it, because it's kind of backwards from what we normally think about with shadow and light. But maybe our spiritual life isn't about becoming a picture with no shadows. Maybe it's about learning to see the whole picture of light and shadow. And this is true in art, and it's true in life. So what is shadow? It is something that results from blocking the light. It creates a sense, a space of darkness. A shadow isn't an independent thing. It exists because something interrupts our light. Something may block the light or obscure the light, but the light itself remains light. Our anger, fear, jealousy, resentment, judgment, old wounds, the thing we call our shadow, may not necessarily prove that there's an absence of light. Our emotions may reveal places where something is blocking the light that is already present. These emotions or reactions are blocking the divine light that is present in every soul. And that is quite different from saying, there's something dark inside of me and I need to get rid of it. It's a different way of looking at it. Let's turn this around and say, where is the light trying to shine through me, and what is standing in its way? This is a much gentler and easier, more useful approach to shadow work. This approach removes the judgment of being a bad person. It comes from the place of light rather than from darkness. It starts from the place of goodness rather than badness. I don't think that's a word, but I like it. The dictionary needs to add it. Badness. No matter how spiritual I try to be, I'm still going to have reactions to the events in life. I'm going to get mad. I'm going to say bad words on occasion sometimes, more often than I care to admit. I'm not going to pretend to be anything different than my authentic human self, making judgments and errors. We still get to be human in this experience. But for 5 seconds, being in the mind of God didn't result in my permanent enlightenment either, I have to say. I was hoping for more. I was hoping that it would last at least through lunch, but it was only moments. Yeah. After all, we do live in this 3-dimensional reality, in this 3-dimensional world, and 3 dimensions cast shadows. They just do. And maybe that's what the world is all about, to experience the contrast of light and dark. Maybe part of being here is the human experience of experiencing contrast. That's how they talk about it through Abraham Hicks. They talk about the contrast. We know joy because we know sorrow. We recognize peace because we know chaos or turmoil. We recognize compassion because we've witnessed cruelty. We recognize all of these different emotions that are in contrast with each other in this 3rd-dimensional experience. And perhaps even our shadows help us recognize the divine light within us. Lost track of my pages. I accidentally did a 2-sided print. Fortunately, I numbered them. All right, so now we're back. It's like, as I was going through, it was like, oh no, which one did I do? Anyway, all right, so now I'm back on track. And here's something else I realized. The shadow doesn't damage the light. It can block it. It can change what we see. It can create darkness in particular places, but it cannot change the nature of light itself. And maybe that's true for us. Our wounds can block our light. Fear can block it. Anger can block it. The things that have happened to us certainly affect how freely that light shines through us. But none of these things has the power to change the divine light itself. While there's a lot of shadow in our world right now, and it's sometimes frightening, it can make us angry, it can break our heart, and perhaps the presence of shadow isn't a command for us to stare harder into the darkness. We don't need to stare harder into the darkness of what's happening in the world. But maybe it's an invitation to ask, where is my light? Where am I holding my light? What am I casting into the picture or the situations? Am I adding fear to fear? Am I adding judgment to judgment? Am I adding hatred to hatred? Or can I acknowledge what is happening, do what I can to help, and still hold on to my own light? The next time somebody pushes one of my buttons, and we all have those wonderful people in our lives who apparently have been assigned that job of locating our buttons. We all have that somebody, right? Maybe I can say, okay, what is this showing me? Where is my light trying to shine? And what is blocking it right now? So that's a doable for all of us. I couldn't hold the God consciousness very long that day, but maybe I didn't need to. Because for just a moment, I remembered it. I felt it, I knew it, and I couldn't live permanently in that state of consciousness at that time. I don't think any of us can at this time. We're not quite there yet, wherever there is. But maybe our spiritual practice is simply to remember that it exists. That day I remembered there was a place beyond judgments, fears, and opinions. A place untouched by what is happening in the world today. A place that is still whole and still pristine and still love. And now that I know that it's there, I can remember my way back to it. We all have it. We just need to remember it. So maybe that's our spiritual practice. And maybe it's just all about not eliminating every shadow, but remembering that light that makes the shadow visible in the first place. So that is our practice, to remember our wholeness and honor the shadow and know that because we have light, we have shadow. And it's okay. It's what we do. It's our work we do. And we're better for it. So I want to lead you through a little short meditation. It's called Your Infinite Supply of Love. So just close your eyes, take a nice deep breath, and know in your heart of knowing, that you are needed in this world. You are important. And you really matter. Your caring heart for a better place for everyone makes a difference. Take a few deep breaths and just relax into that knowing, into that soft place of existence. And feel the whole of your body, from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet and everything in between, the truth of knowing that you matter. Keep noticing your breath as you ground into your body. Feel your breath flowing into and through your whole body. Feel into your heart center with curiosity and gentleness for yourself. And bring into your awareness some beautiful images of nature, of Mother Earth, and just see what shows up for you. And as you attune to the beauty of this magnificent planet, let yourself feel the vibrations of beauty and peace. what would your vision of the world at peace look like? Remember, we are filled with light and directly connected to an infinite supply of love within ourselves through our own source connection. You are a radiant being of peace and love, and whatever you are feeling is always okay. Be fully present with that heart glow, knowing that in the inner sanctum of your heart, that divine light in its pure, pristine state is always there. Nothing can take it away. Always available, ready to shine. And let it be so. When you're ready, come back into the room. Feel your feet, fingers, toes. You guys went way far away. It was good.
Testing out the shadows.
Tasting out the shadows. Way to go. Falling into the shadows. All right, so we're going to do the offering to the home center. If you get your offering ready between your hands, we're going to give it a blessing. Shelly will come around with a basket. And as we prepare our offering to the home spiritual center, let's hold it in our hands and charge it up with the energy of alignment, generosity, and sacred intention. We know that we are part of the greater circulation of good and that our gifts will multiply for the highest healing, growth, and service to us and our community. As the basket comes around, please fill it with your blessings, and we thank you for your generosity and for continued support of our good works. And so it is. And so it is. All right, well, while the basket's going around, I'm going to invite Lynn back up to share a little inspiration with us and the closing prayer.
Beautiful. I love your talk. Thank you. I do have a little story this morning. We know.
Put it down.
Okay, a little story from a little person. I'm sure everyone knows that our trees are, most of our trees are going away. And I ran across this story and wanted to share it with you. Once upon a time, a little green sapling stood alone on a grassy hill, while other plants rushed to flower and fade. The sapling dreamed of the sky. It drank the rain, stretched its roots deep into the dark earth, and slowly grew into a mighty oak. Bluebirds built soft nests in its crown and sang morning songs. Squirrels raised up its bark to hide their acorns. Young children would come to sit in its cool green shade, carving their initials into a low branch. And laughing as they swung from its low limbs. The tree asked for nothing. It simply offered its leaves to catch the wind, its wood to shelter the weak, and its strong roots to hold the hill together against the rushing rain. One hot summer day in the valley below dried up. The grass turned brown and the flowers drooped. The animals looked up at the great tree, worried that it might fall. Instead, the tree smiled. With rustling leaves, it reached down into the sacred places of the earth, pulling up cool water it had saved, and shared it with the soil and with the ferns nearby. This tree taught everyone a quiet truth. True strength is not just standing tall, but it is helping others grow in the shade of your care. So that's my story today. If everybody would join me in our closing prayer. Thank you. As we come to the end of our service this morning, let's take a moment to give thanks for the beautiful sky above us and the life-sustaining Mother Earth below our feet. May we be enlightened to open our hearts to feel and our eyes to see the ethereal beauty of nature. Can we allow ourselves to hear the whispers and the gentle hum of Mother Earth? Let us not forget that we are part of the biosphere where all life exists. We are not owners, but we are the caretakers of this great earth. Let us remember to walk lightly and heal the hurt places of Mother Earth together as our hearts are united as one community, devoted to honoring all of creation today and always. So it is. Amen. And to our online community, thank you for joining us today. We want to wish you a blessed week, and from our hearts to yours, we'll see you next week at Home Spiritual Center.